Hey everybody, Patrick here with Rap 4. It is Memorial Day 2013 and this is Monday Night Paintball. Alright guys, time for some paintball news and industry trends. The United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps are joining forces to raise money for a community in Idaho by hosting a paintball game. They're trying to get the youth in the area of Idaho Falls more involved in the community through a sport that they're already interested in, paintball, by hosting games. Now, they hosted one so far. It was Navy versus the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps won 3-2. Go figure. This project is called Operation Rescue Mission, and if you're in the Idaho Falls area, it'd be worth looking into. West Coast Scenario Productions is putting on a cool game in Lakeside, California on June 8th and 9th called Wild West 2. Regulators, mount up. Looks like a really interesting gameplay. You're going to have to choose a player role, anything from a medic to an engineer. Registration before June 2nd is going to be $80. At the door, it's going to be $100. So be sure to pre-register if you're planning on attending. SC Village in Chino, California is holding an event on June 29th and 30th called the Tet Offensive. Registration before May 29th will be $55 and include air for the entire event and all-day parking. Registration before June 15th will be $55, but it will only be entry. And after June 15th, it's going to go up to $65 for entry alone. Looks like an awesome scenario, and the storyline is going to follow a campaign in the Vietnam War. There's a new paintball arena on the East Coast that just opened, and it's the largest there's ever been. It's called the Hardcore Paintball Arena in Bridgewater, New Jersey, and it is 22,000 square feet of paintball battlefield. The mentality behind this is that it is weatherproof. No matter what the weather's like outside, you'll still be able to go in and play paintball. This facility is pretty cool. They have everything from a locker room to a chef on the weekends. It's going to be cooking meals that you could buy. They're even looking to host a camp over the summer where you could bring your kids for $500 a week. They're going to be fed and be able to play paintball all day. Now, this is a brand new facility and we're very curious about it, but we're on the West Coast, so we need you guys to go and get some pictures and video and send it back to us and show us what a good time you had. Now, I've got a pretty big announcement for you guys this week on Monday Night Paintball, and it is the OD project. OD stands for Operational Detachment, and it's what we're calling official Rap 4 teams. Now, previously, paintball teams would submit sponsorship packets to us for us to approve so that we could sponsor their team by their name and their management. Now, we're going to have our own teams. Rap 4 is going to have official teams called Operational Detachments, and the way that it's going to go is by region. For instance, some of the members of a team you might know by Savoy 6 have started Operational Detachment Southern California, or ODSC. Some of the familiar faces you guys are used to, like Kusha and Anthony, are now going to be managing this Rap 4 official team in Southern California. They're going to be having monthly mag-fed games for you guys to come out and become acquainted with mag-fed play until Operation End War 4 this year. Now, for these mag-fed games, we're going to give them some loaner markers, so you can show up. You're going to have to pay field entry only, and you'll be able to get your hands on a mag-fed marker and see what all the hype's all about. Right now we're working on getting them a website and a forum for everybody there in Southern California to discuss these monthly mag-fed games. The first one is going down in June. We'll have more details for you later, and it's going to be on the website SoCal MFOG or magfedonlygames.com. Be sure to check back for more details on an exact date, but right now it's going to be held at SC Village, one of the best fields there in Southern California. Alright guys, for this week's tactical tip, we're going to talk about magazine clamps and the different ways that people choose to clamp their magazines together. Now, this is a TGR2. It's from a new company called Scarab Arms. It's making big waves in the mag-fed market. Very cool marker. I set this one up to have it very similar to a setup that I would make on a real AR-15. And just like a real AR-15, I have these two magazines clamped together similarly to the way that I have my rifle at home. Now, on my rifle I have what's called a ready mag, which is basically a second magazine well. You press this magazine release, it drops both magazines. It makes for a very, very fast reload. And it's a little bit heavier on the rifle, or the marker in this case, but for me I don't really notice it that much, so it's the faster reload is preferable to me to have 16 rounds on board, or in this case 40. Now, on these magazines here, I'm using a T68 magazine clamp. So, on a side note, if anybody was curious if these magazine clamps are compatible with Scarab Arms mags, they are, and they actually work a little bit better because these rib sections here, this crosshatch, The pattern on this this magazine actually helps the magazine clamps grip into a little bit better, whereas the T68 ones, if it wasn't too tight, it might slip a little bit. This one's got that that rib right there to keep it from doing that. But anyway, so the way this reload goes, if I have two magazines clamped together going north like that, it's going to be bang, 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 click, roll it over, chamber check, see that I'm out of ammo, go ahead and eject the magazine, put it back up to the other side, continue to fire. That way I have 40 rounds ready to go, and that's a very, very fast reload. I don't have to reach anywhere, don't have to worry about where this magazine goes as far as a dump pouch or anything like that. Just slide it on over and you're back in the fight. Now some of you might prefer to have it go the other way as far as the magazine that's loaded and ready to go be on the other side of the marker. If that's the way you wanted to run it, this is how that would look. I'm going to be shooting, bang, 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 click, roll it over, chamber check, see that I'm empty, go ahead and slide it over, get back in the fight. It's a very, very, very fast reload. Highly recommend it for those of you who are going to be in a situation where you're going to need to put a lot of rounds down range in a very short amount of time. So next way I'm going to have these magazines set up, and this clamp is to be the other way around. One of them is going to be upside down like this. Now, I haven't tightened this down yet, but I want to take a second to show you. If you're going to do it like this is a good way to do it as well, but be sure to have this, the feed neck of this magazine up flush, or preferably a little bit higher than the bottom of the other magazine. The reason for that is that if it was to hit something, you know, like the deck, if you're going to go prone or something like that, then the bottom of this magazine is what's going to touch, not the feed neck of this one. If it was down, you know, something like this is going to be the first thing to hit, and it might mess up that first paintball, might pop it, might get some dirt in here, something like that. With these Scarab Arms magazines, there's no slip ring on the collar, so it's not going to necessarily you know, dump all your paint out, but you can still get debris in there and stuff. Even with a real magazine, you wouldn't want that to happen as far as dirt and stuff getting in there. So before I tighten this down, just wanted to show you I'm going to have it this way for a very specific purpose. So here I have it tightened down, and I'm going to just slip it in there. As you can see with the TGR2, you're able to have this magazine so far up. If you have a different marker, I mean, I haven't tested this out on every MagFed marker out there. I don't know if like the Tiberius or anything, maybe that has an issue, but with this Scarab Arms, you're able to go ahead and put as far north as your optic allows you, or maybe if you had some kind of weird attachment here on your handguard. I don't know why you'd have one there, but who knows? People come up with all kinds of interesting stuff. So this one would be a really good marker if you were going to use this you know, twin magazine clamp system. TGR2, you can see it right now, it works perfectly. So the way this reload goes with this magazine upside down like this, it looks a little weird and it feels that way at first, but it's actually a very fluid motion. How it's going to go is bang, 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 click, roll over, chamber check. I'm going to reach my hand up underneath, grab this magazine out of the bottom, press the magazine release, spin it, put it back up, and get back on target. Now, see this part right here, when I twist my hand, is kind of awkward, but when I get it up here, my hand is like right there to get back up on that thumb overboard grip. So it's actually, might even be faster. I haven't timed them, so it looks a little bit weird, but it's actually pretty comfortable and fast and very reliable as far as, you know, getting that thing in there. Holding onto this magazine and getting it into the magwell is pretty easy instead of trying to grip both of these together. So for me, this is actually a very, very quick motion to get back on target. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Now remember, Monday Night Paintball is your show. We make it from the content generated from our Facebook page. So if there's anything you'd like to see in next week's episode, just go to facebook.com/rap4usa and let us know. Looking forward to hearing from you. We'll see you out there.